The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of November 25 to 29 reveal that Michael Baldwin's job will get a little tougher thanks to some new evidence Chancellor uncovers. It'll point straight at Sharon Newman and dig a deeper hole for her, so Ian Ward should be thrilled about that. Jordan has agreed to score updates on how Sharon's daughters are handling all this, but that could bring an opportunity to get caught if she's not careful. Even in disguise, it's risky for Jordan to go out in public. Nevertheless, Jordan will do her best to appease Ian by reporting back on Mariah Copeland and Faith Newman's despair. Once Ian is satisfied, Jordan will hope they can move on and focus on her own revenge plot next. As for Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, he'll continue to believe there's more to the story and will remain protective of Sharon despite any backlash that brings. In the meantime, there may be some positive developments regarding Phyllis Summers' Michelle Stafford health. Phyllis won't be stuck in a coma for long, so will her loved ones get a Thanksgiving miracle through her awakening? Whatever the case, Y and R spoilers hint that there may be some Thanksgiving celebrations on canvas, maybe even one involving a drama-free meal for the Abbotts. If Kyle Abbott finally lands in the Jabot co-CEO spot, maybe a peaceful holiday with Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott is possible. Of course, Diane and Jack can eventually come clean to Tracy Abbott, Alan Laurent, Billy Abbott, and Ashley Abbott about their fake marriage blow-up. On another note, let's talk about Victor Newman's Chancellor takeover and an announcement involving Nikki Newman. Once Victor spreads the news about Nikki's role at the top, she'll be ready to hit the ground running and protect Catherine Chancellor's legacy. As for Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra, they may have to deal with the aftermath of a sizzling surrender. If Sally and Billy cave into their bedroom desires, they may spend the next morning trying to figure out how they feel about it. Over with Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson, they may finally make some progress when it comes to inching their way toward a romantic reunion. Spending Thanksgiving as a family with Connor Newman might help with that. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of November 25 to 29 will bring some highs and lows, so stick with us for more predictions on any holiday blessings and erupting drama. CDL will have other great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news to check out, so visit us often for more Y and R info. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, November 21, reveals that Elena Dawson will rely on her medical expertise and share her opinion on Phyllis Summers' condition. Although Elena previously suggested it was a wait-and-see situation, she might ultimately come up with a possible treatment that could get the ball rolling on Phyllis waking up. Of course, there could be some risks involved, so we'll see how Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Summer Newman respond to Elena's idea. My and our spoilers say Summer will have a difficult choice to make, so she may take the lead on deciding since Daniel's emotions are already so all over the place. After Elena offers updates on some news about Phyllis' condition, Summer will have a lot to contemplate. Whatever the case, Summer will cross paths with Kyle Abbott at the coffee house, so they'll sit at a table together and reconnect. Kyle will offer some sympathy for what Summer's going through and take her hand, so there'll be a sweet scene or two for these exes. Will Claire Newman be around to spy Kyle looking too close for comfort with Summer, or will this remain a private moment? Regardless, Summer and Kyle's bond will strengthen, so Claire may have some good reasons to worry about their possible reunion. At some point on Thursday's I and R episode, Jack Abbott will discover that Diane Jenkins Abbott has made a sacrifice for the sake of restoring peace. This must have something to do with Diane's idea to surrender the Jabot co-CEO seat to Kyle. Once Diane extends this massive olive branch, perhaps Kyle will go to Jack and ask if he's on board with this. Since Diane is willing to do what's best for their family, Jack may welcome Kyle back to Jabat if he's willing to put the past to rest. The young and the restless spoilers say Kyle will have to weigh his options and decide what's next, so we'll bring you more predictions on the Abbott family's future. The young and the restless spoilers for Thursday, November 21, reveals that Elena Dawson will rely on her medical expertise and share her opinion on Phyllis Summers' condition. Although Elena previously suggested it was a wait-and-see situation, she might ultimately come up with a possible treatment that could get the ball rolling on Phyllis waking up. Of course, there could be some risks involved, so we'll see how Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Summer Newman respond to Elena's idea. My and our spoilers say Summer will have a difficult choice to make, so she may take the lead on deciding since Daniel's emotions are already so all over the place. After Elena offers updates on some news about Phyllis' condition, Summer will have a lot to contemplate. Whatever the case, Summer will cross paths with Kyle Abbott at the coffee house, so they'll sit at a table together and reconnect. Kyle will offer some sympathy for what Summer's going through and take her hand, so there'll be a sweet scene or two for these exes. Will Claire Newman be around to spy Kyle looking too close for comfort with Summer, or will this remain a private moment? Regardless, Summer and Kyle's bond will strengthen, so Claire may have some good reasons to worry about their possible reunion. At some point on Thursday's I and R episode, Jack Abbott will discover that Diane Jenkins Abbott has made a sacrifice for the sake of restoring peace. This must have something to do with Diane's idea to surrender the Jabat co-CEO seat to Kyle. Once Diane extends this massive olive branch, perhaps Kyle will go to Jack and ask if he's on board with this. Since Diane is willing to do what's best for their family, Jack may welcome Kyle back to Jabat if he's willing to put the past to rest. The young and the restless spoilers say Kyle will have to weigh his options and decide what's next, so we'll bring you more predictions on the Abbott family's future. CDL's where you want to be for terrific young and the restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so visit us regularly. The young and the restless spoilers for Wednesday, November 20, reveal that Sally Spectra will feel the need to even the score somehow. It turns out Sally will have some unfinished business, but she's already made it clear that she has nothing left to say to Adam Newman. Of course, that could change if Adam tries to feud with Billy Abbott in front of Sally or something along those lines. In that case, Sally might cozy up to Billy just to get under Adam's skin. Then again, maybe Sally could even the score another way. This might involve something a little more lighthearted if Sally surprises Billy with something fun that could bring them closer. Regardless, Sally and Billy will definitely deal with some temptation in the coming episodes. The more Billy and Sally get to know each other, the harder it'll be to avoid hitting the sheets. Meanwhile, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will push for justice in Wednesday's I and R episode. That goes for both Heather Stevens and Phyllis Summers, who still hasn't regained consciousness at the hospital. After showing up at the cottage to confront Sharon Newman, Daniel may have a chance to put her on full blast, at least until Nick Newman and Michael Baldwin intervene. Although Sharon will feel like she deserves Daniel's fury, and so much more, Nick will still try to shield her as best as he can. Michael will also keep working on Sharon's legal defense, but he's sure to face some backlash from Christine Blair. Christine may object to Michael even taking Sharon's case, but Michael just won't think Sharon would have eliminated Heather and framed Daniel in her right mind. Michael will continue to pursue this altered medication angle and might make a prediction about getting Sharon off the hook. As for Jordan, she may assure Ian Ward that she's still committed to their partnership. If Jordan does everything Ian requests regarding Sharon, then they can focus on her pulling off Jordan's vengeful goals next. The young and the restless spoilers say Jordan and Ian's alliance could come with complications, so we'll bring you more updates on all the wild news to come. Phyllis's final moments and the unraveling of family secrets. Genoa City has always been a hotbed of drama, where love, betrayal, and power struggles intertwine to create some of the most compelling storylines in daytime television. The latest developments have taken the stakes higher than ever, with the potential loss of a beloved character, deep-seated family conflicts, and the resurfacing of old enemies. As Phyllis Summers faces the grim reality of her condition, the Newman family dynamics are pushed to their breaking points, revealing secrets that could alter the course of their lives forever. Phyllis Summers, a flicker of hope in darkness. Phyllis Summers, a central figure in Genoa City's intricate web of relationships, has been left in a critical state following the devastating accident caused by Sharon Newman. While doctors have declared that Phyllis may never regain consciousness, recent developments have sparked a glimmer of hope among her loved ones. Subtle movements in Phyllis's fingers have been noticed, leading some to believe she might still hold on, trying to communicate one last message before slipping away. Medical concerns and emotional turmoil. For the medical team, Phyllis's finger movements are a double-edged sword. On one hand, they offer a small beacon of hope. On the other, they signify the severity of her brain injuries. Phyllis is exhibiting signs of terminal agitation, an emotional and physiological response often seen in patients facing imminent death. This condition not only distresses her family, but also poses significant challenges as they cling to any sign of recovery. A final message. As Phyllis's condition deteriorates, there is a growing belief that she is trying to convey a final message. Family members and friends are left interpreting these movements, hoping to uncover any last words of wisdom, secrets, or declarations of love. The uncertainty surrounding her state adds to the mounting tension in Genoa City, where every moment is laden with anticipation and fear. The weight of guilt. Sharon Newman, the woman responsible for the accident that left Phyllis in this dire condition, finds herself grappling with immense guilt and responsibility. The weight of her actions has not only impacted her own life, but has sent shockwaves through the lives of those around her. Facing accountability. Sharon's journey toward accountability is fraught with emotional and legal challenges. While she has admitted her role in the accident, the full extent of her punishment remains a contentious issue among Genoa City's residents. Many believe Sharon has yet to face the full consequences of her actions, especially given the severity of Phyllis's condition. The struggle for redemption. In her quest for redemption, Sharon must navigate the complex landscape of forgiveness and retribution. Her interactions with Daniel Romalotti and Lucy Summers are particularly strained, as they struggle to reconcile their love for Sharon with the pain she has caused. The tension between seeking forgiveness and demanding justice adds layers of complexity to her character, making her journey all the more compelling. Kyle Abbott, uncovering family secrets. Amid the turmoil surrounding Phyllis and Sharon, Kyle Abbott finds himself at the center of a personal crisis. Discovering that his parents, Jack and Diane Abbott, have been hiding the truth about his father, Victor Newman, forces him to confront the foundation of his identity. Confronting the truth. Kyle's confrontation with his parents is a pivotal moment as he demands answers. The Abbott family facade begins to crumble, revealing unresolved tensions and conflicts. Jack and Diane's intentions to protect Kyle have left him feeling betrayed and confused. Understanding Victor's nature. Kyle's journey toward understanding his father, Victor Newman, is fraught with emotional turmoil. Reconciliation is complicated by the conflicting images of Victor as both a loving parent and a ruthless businessman. Ian Ward and Jordan Blackwood, an unlikely alliance. The resurgence of Ian Ward and the mysterious Jordan Blackwood has left Genoa City on edge. Their alliance, fueled by mutual hatred for Victor Newman, threatens to destabilize the city's delicate balance of power. The mystery of their connection. Fans and characters alike are left to ponder how Ian and Jordan reconnected after their time in prison. Did Ian orchestrate Jordan's escape to further his own agenda? Or did they forge a bond during incarceration that transcends their past? A threat to Victor Newman. Ian and Jordan's combined efforts present a formidable threat to Victor Newman. Both harbor deep grudges and are strategically undermining his authority. Victor, ever vigilant, is aware of the danger but remains uncertain of their exact plans. The fragile balance of Genoa City. As Phyllis Summers teeters on the brink of consciousness, the Abbott family grapples with betrayal, and Ian Ward and Jordan Blackwood plot their revenge. Genoa City edges closer to chaos. Phyllis's legacy. Phyllis's influence on Genoa City cannot be overstated. Her relationships, both personal and professional, have intertwined with many lives, making her condition a focal point of the community's emotions. Family dynamics and power struggles. The Abbott and Newman families, two of Genoa City's most powerful dynasties, are at the heart of the turmoil. Kyle's quest for truth exposes long-buried secrets, reigniting old conflicts. Victor's struggle to maintain dominance against Ian and Jordan adds further complexity. The final act, approaching the climax. The tension in Genoa City reaches a fever pitch. Phyllis Summers' potential passing, Kyle Abbott's search for truth, and the impending showdown between Victor Newman and his vengeful enemies set the stage for an unforgettable finale. Phyllis's last moments. With her condition worsening, Phyllis's final moments are filled with urgency. Her attempts to communicate could reveal crucial secrets or final wishes, leaving a lasting impact on those she leaves behind. Victor versus Ian and Jordan, the ultimate showdown. The inevitable confrontation between Victor Newman and the alliance of Ian Ward and Jordan Blackwood promises to be a defining moment in Genoa City's history. The outcome will reshape power dynamics and test the limits of every character involved. Stay tuned, the young and the restless fans. This is a storyline you won't want to miss. The Young and the Restless spoilers, November 20, 2024. Full turmoil and triumphs in Genoa City. Genoa City, the vibrant and tumultuous setting of The Young and the Restless, continues to captivate viewers with its intricate web of relationships, power struggles, and emotional roller coasters. Recent developments have thrust beloved characters into the spotlight, stirring intense fan reactions and setting the stage for dramatic confrontations. From forced marriages and hidden paternities to vengeful vows and resurfacing threats, the latest episodes have left fans eagerly anticipating what's next in this ever-evolving saga. Forced marriages and fan outrage, Audra and Nate's controversial union. One of the most contentious storylines has emerged following the revelation that Audra has been coerced into marrying Nate Hastings. Audra, a beloved character known for her resilience and grace, has always been portrayed as deserving of true love and respect. However, the announcement that her marriage to Nate was not entirely consensual has sparked significant backlash among fans. Nate Hastings, a character with a reputation for being kind-hearted and honorable, has been unjustly tarnished by the circumstances surrounding his marriage to Audra. Fans argue that Nate deserves genuine happiness and respect, asserting that he is a good man who has been placed in an undeserved predicament. The storyline has ignited passionate discussions on social media and fan forums, with many expressing their support for both Audra and Nate, hoping for a resolution that honors their true feelings and restores their happiness. Alina's return and the mystery of her child, Nate's love under scrutiny. Adding another layer of complexity, Alina Winters has returned to Genoa City with a child, leading fans to speculate about the paternity of the baby. The prevailing theory is that Nate is the father, given the deep and enduring affection he has always shown towards Alina. Nate's unwavering support and genuine love for Alina have endeared him to fans, who view him as a pillar of strength and compassion. Alina's return has reignited old flames and unresolved tensions, particularly concerning her relationship with Nate. If Nate is indeed the father, It underscores the sincerity and depth of his love, painting him as a steadfast and honorable partner. This revelation not only adds emotional depth to the characters involved, but also raises the stakes for those who oppose Nate, setting the stage for future conflicts and alliances. Harrison's terrifying encounter, a child's fear of the past. Amidst the adult drama, young Harrison has had a frightening experience that threatens to unravel the fragile peace within the Abbott family. One night, Harrison claims to have seen a woman resembling his kidnapper at the window of his bedroom. This horrifying sighting has left him terrified and confused, prompting him to share his fears with his mother, Claire Abbott. Despite Kyle and Claire's attempts to downplay Harrison's account as mere nightmares, Claire's maternal instincts tell her that there is more to the story. The possibility that Jordan Blackwood, a known enemy of the family, has resurfaced to wreak havoc once again sends chills down Claire's spine. The safety of their family is now under threat, and Claire is determined to protect Harrison from the dangers that Jordan and her ally, Ian Ward, pose. Jordan and Ian's deadly alliance, a threat to Victor Newman and Genoa City. The return of Jordan Blackwood and Ian Ward marks a significant escalation in the ongoing power struggles within Genoa City. Both characters have long harbored a deep-seated grudge against Victor Newman, the formidable patriarch of the Newman family. Their alliance, born out of mutual vengeance, aims to dismantle Victor's empire and exact retribution for past grievances. Jordan, known for her cunning and manipulative nature, and Ian, the charismatic and ruthless strategist, have combined their strengths to formulate a plan that could potentially bring Victor to his knees. Their objective is to kidnap Victor and imprison him in his own secret underground bunker, a place he constructed as a fail-safe against threats, but now serves as his worst nightmare. This calculated move by Jordan and Ian has ignited fear and uncertainty throughout Genoa City. Victor, although a seasoned and vigilant leader, finds himself vulnerable against such a united front. The stakes have never been higher, and the impending confrontation promises to be one of the most intense showdowns in the series' history. Victor Newman's imprisonment, a battle for survival and legacy. Victor Newman, a character synonymous with power and resilience, faces his greatest challenge yet as Jordan and Ian execute their plan to capture and imprison him. The secret bunker, designed as a fortress, becomes the battleground for a fight that will determine the future of the Newman legacy. Locked away in the depths of his own creation, Victor is subjected to psychological and physical torment. Jordan and Ian's relentless pursuit of vengeance pushes Victor to his limits, testing his indomitable spirit and strategic prowess. As the Newman family rallies to rescue him, old alliances are tested, and new heroes emerge to combat the twin threats posed by Jordan and Ian. Kyle and Claire's renewed relationship, a fragile alliance under threat. Amid the chaos, Kyle and Claire Abbott find solace in their rekindled relationship. Their shared history and mutual support have strengthened their bond, providing a semblance of normalcy amidst the turmoil. However, their happiness is precarious, hanging in the balance as Jordan Blackwood's return threatens to dismantle everything they have built together. Kyle's determination to uncover the truth about his father, Victor Newman, and the betrayal he feels has deepened his commitment to Claire. Together, they must navigate the dangers posed by Jordan and Ian, ensuring that their relationship remains intact in the face of mounting threats. Daniel Romolotti's vengeful resolve, a path of destruction. Daniel Romolotti, grappling with the tragic outcome of the accident that left Phyllis Summers in a vegetative state, finds himself consumed by rage and the desire for vengeance against Sharon Newman. The doctor's prognosis that Phyllis may never regain consciousness has left Daniel feeling hopeless and bereft, intensifying his need to hold Sharon accountable for her actions. Determined to seek retribution, Daniel has made a solemn vow to kill Sharon if Phyllis does not awaken. Daniel's resolve is further complicated by his responsibility toward Lucy, Phyllis's granddaughter. The weight of his vow places immense pressure on his character, exploring themes of grief, revenge, and the destructive nature of unresolved pain. Fan reactions and hopes, the power of community support. The unfolding drama in Genoa City has elicited strong reactions from fans, who have become deeply invested in the lives of their favorite characters. The forced marriage of Audra and Nate, the mystery surrounding Elena's child, and the impending threat posed by Jordan and Ian have all contributed to heightened anticipation and emotional investment. Fans have expressed their hopes for Devon and Abby to continue expanding their family, eager to see the couple embrace new joys and challenges together. One fan commented, "I'm so happy for Abby and Devon. They deserve all the happiness in the world, and I can't wait to see how their story unfolds with a new baby." Another added, "Dominic is going to be the best big brother. Watching this family grow is one of the best parts of the show right now." Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, November 20 indicate some interesting plot twists in the land of Genoa City. Next on Young and the Restless. Someone is demanding justice, while a character settles the score, and two attorneys lock heads in a murderous debate. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Wednesday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Daniel Romalotti wants justice. Lie and R spoilers for Wednesday, November 20 reveal that Daniel Romalotti will want justice for Phyllis Summers. Of course, he believes Sharon Newman is behind all this, even though fans know Phyllis' accident is the result of Ian Ward's and Jordan's doing. Phyllis was run down on the road, heading toward Sharon's cottage, colliding with a tree, and is now in a coma. She almost lost her life, but fans know Phyllis has a lot of fight in her. How will Daniel ensure he gets justice for his mom? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Lie and R spoilers, Sally Spectra settles the score. Across town, Y and R spoilers for Wednesday, November 20 imply that Sally Spectra will settle the score with someone. Could this be aimed at Chelsea Lawson? If so, how exactly will she settle her score? After all, Chelsea had a passionate night with Adam Newman, which ended Sally's relationship with him. Could Sally end up spending a night with Billy Abbott? Then again, Sally could decide to settle the score with Adam directly. Only time will tell. The Young and the Restless spoilers, a murderous debate between two friends. Lastly, Y and R spoilers for Wednesday's show reveal that Michael Baldwin and Christine Blair will come together to debate who killed Heather Stevens and question if Sharon is innocent or guilty. Fans know Sharon is not guilty, but can the two lawyers come to some sort of conclusion? Will Cricket help Michael with Sharon's case? Are you excited about Wednesday's episode? Join the conversation below. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily to catch all the drama in Genoa City and visit SOS for the best Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Wednesday, November 20, reveals that Billy Abbott will blast Adam Newman for all the damage he caused with his hit pieces. But Adam will taunt Billy over his firing and act like he only has himself to blame. At the Abbott mansion, Diane Jenkins Abbott will have some positive updates for Jack Abbott, since Victor Newman signed over Glissade, but she'll remain suspicious of how easily he gave it up. Diane will also admit she's worried that Glissade is tainted and not a big enough gesture to win Kyle Abbott over. Instead, Diane will think Kyle should be co-CEO with Jack and will be willing to step aside for the sake of fixing her family. When Billy shows up, Diane and Jack will once again put on a show and lash out at each other. Billy will be taken aback to see just how bad Jack and Diane's marriage has gotten. At least that's what he'll assume based on their charade. While Billy gives Jack the news about Jill Abbott firing him, Chelsea Lawson, Melissa will chat with Connor Newman at Crimson Lights. Sally Spectra will pop up, so there'll be some awkwardness despite Sally's assurance that she can still be friends with Connor. After Connor takes off, Chelsea will shower Sally with compliments about her new line, but Sally won't want to keep pretending everything is ok. Although Sally will assure Chelsea that she doesn't hate her, she also won't know if she can ever forgive Chelsea or Adam for what they did. Sally will argue that Adam never stopped loving Chelsea, so she'll work to convince Chelsea that she belongs with her ex just before Adam walks in. In Jordan and Ian Ward's motel room, she'll point out that he's the one who's supposed to be rehabilitated and out of prison legitimately. Jordan, on the other hand, is still believed to be locked up in a maximum security prison. Ian will remind Jordan that she owes him for using his resources and pulling off an identity swap that got her out of the slammer. Although Ian will push Jordan to take orders, she'll consider this an equal partnership and will argue that she's given him focus as well as purpose. Ian will acknowledge that they make a good team, but he'll still think Jordan needs to dip into her bag of disguises and see how Sharon Newman's daughters are holding up. Ian will also have the utmost confidence that Jordan can carry out their mission without too many casualties. At Sharon's house, Nick Newman will have to hold Daniel Romalotti Jr. back as he rips into Sharon and demands answers about all the pain she's caused. Sharon will tearfully apologize as Nick and Michael Baldwin keep trying to dial down Daniel's explosive outburst. Nick will finally drag Daniel down to the hospital, where Nick will visit Phyllis Summers beside and make a sweet speech. In the waiting area, Nick will talk to Daniel and Summer about Sharon, who couldn't have been in her right mind from his perspective. Daniel will fume over Nick talking about Sharon's altered meds and bipolar disorder, since he won't want her getting off on mental insanity. Although Nick will act like there'll be consequences, Daniel won't settle for some little psychiatric ward stint. Instead, Daniel will make it clear that he wants Sharon to do hard time in prison for what she did to Heather Stevens and Phyllis. Back at the cottage on Wednesday's I and R episode, Sharon will discuss her difficult emotions with Mariah Copeland and admit that Daniel was there earlier. Over with Christine Blair, she'll speak with Michael Baldwin, Christian Leblance, about his decision to take Sharon's case. When Christine realizes an insanity defense may be in the works, she'll make a prediction about it being hard to prove. Nevertheless, Michael will seem confident that he can work this legal angle. The young and the restless spoilers say Sharon may have a tough fight ahead of her in court, but Michael will do whatever he can to help her. The young and the restless spoilers for Wednesday, November 20, are open season on Sharon, as Christine and Michael debate her guilt, and Daniel is determined to make Sharon pay for Phyllis' accident. Legally speaking, Michael is a brilliant lawyer. You'd have to be brilliant to overcome all the crimes he committed and then become a beloved member of the Genoa City community. Christine is a lawyer brilliant enough to let Phyllis off the hook over and over and over again, including her latest little prank when she killed a man. From the beginning, Phyllis has insisted that Sharon was responsible for Heather's, and it looks like she may have finally proven her point. But are Michael and Christine ready to jump on board? A swing and a hit. Daniel hadn't taken his mother's rantings too seriously, but her accident changed Daniel's mind. Now that his mother has been hurt, she was obviously right all along. Don't mock him. Every time Victor's Eric Braden family turns on him, he has a health crisis, and they all rush to his bedside to sob about how he was right, they were wrong, and they'll never doubt him again. So it's a cultural thing. So now Daniel is putting Heather's murder on the back burner, and he is focusing all his energy on getting justice for Phyllis, whether or not that involves Sharon or not. Nice to know that irrational hysteria is genetic. Winning. Sally came to town and instantly became a local pariah, as everyone assumed she was up to no good, no matter what she did. Victor hired and then fired her. Summer was furious when Sally made her life better. Chelsea slept with Adam when they were together. Sally has a lot of scores to settle. Which one will she pursue first? The young and the restless spoilers tease that Jordan is on the loose, holed up in a cheap no-tell motel with Ian Ward of all people. That's a lot of evil for one cheap room. Does Victor Newman know about this? Has he made some nefarious back deal regarding Jordan? He was holding her in his own homemade prison at one time. But when the gig was up, he demanded that she be put in a maximum security prison with the key thrown away. That plan has gone to ashes, obviously. What exactly is going on here? Keep reading to find out. The young and the restless spoilers, Jordan is on the loose. In his defense, Victor has been busy scheming over his other enemies, namely Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, planning his daughter's wedding, rebuilding the ranch house, and wheeling and dealing to acquire Chancellor. No wonder he's been too busy to focus on Jordan. Besides, she's the prison's responsibility. Somehow, Jordan's escape has slipped by Victor. It was a quiet escape, no fires, shootings, or threats this time. Ian is involved here, so there is a certain level of cunning. Does he have a Jordan lookalike in her jail cell? Y and R spoilers. Is there a Jordan lookalike? Maybe Ian found a doppelganger's family and threatened them, or offered a ton of money to pull his ruse off. In this scenario, there is a Jordan-looking woman who has taken the real Jordan's place in prison. It makes sense since the prison would have alerted Victor if Jordan escaped. Wouldn't they? Sorry to say, but soap opera law enforcement outfits aren't the tightest run ships. It's entirely possible that the prison knows something and hasn't bothered to tell the mustache, in which case he will blow his top once he finds out. The young and the restless spoilers, Victor Newman's unpleasant surprise. Two things are going on here. 1. Victor has been consumed with so many things he has put Jordan on the back burner, and 2. She will eventually be found out. Jordan is too over the top to stay hidden for long. She's the kind of person who wants credit for her magnificent evil. Tell us why, and our fans, how will Jordan get Victor's attention? Will she taunt him outright, or will he find out the hard way that his foe is free? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y and R right now. Come back here often for the young and the restless spoilers, news and updates, and make us your favorite hotspot. In the turbulent world of the young and the restless, nothing is ever as straightforward as it seems. Phyllis Summers, a character known for her fierce tenacity and unbreakable will, has apparently met a tragic end in a horrific car accident. The scene was devastating. Her car left mangled beyond recognition, with little hope that anyone could have survived. News of Phyllis's death quickly spread, sending shockwaves through Genoa City and leaving her family and friends to mourn her sudden loss. The shocking funeral announcement. With Phyllis's death officially confirmed, her son Daniel finds himself confronting a sorrow that cuts deeply. In a short span of time, he has lost two of the most important women in his life, Phyllis, his beloved mother, and Heather. Daniel's grief is profound, compounded by the belief that Sharon was responsible for his mother's demise. He's convinced that Sharon's relentless messages, sent to Phyllis just before the accident, played a crucial role in distracting her, ultimately leading to the fatal crash. Guilt and anger consume Daniel. Although he struggles to make sense of the tragedy, he knows one thing for certain. Someone has to pay for Phyllis's death. In his mind, Sharon is the prime suspect. As far as Daniel is concerned, justice is the only path forward, and he is determined to hold Sharon accountable. Phyllis's death, is it real? The cunning and resourceful Phyllis Summers isn't one to go down without a fight. Behind the scenes, a much darker, more twisted plot is unfolding. Unbeknownst to her loved ones, Phyllis has not perished in the crash. In a stunning twist, she has faked her own death, using the accident as a means to disappear and settle a score. Phyllis has every intention of haunting Sharon, tormenting her with ghostly reminders of what she believes Sharon has done. This charade is more than just a scheme. It's a calculated act of revenge, designed to make Sharon live in fear and regret. Phyllis's plan for revenge. Phyllis plans to use her death as a weapon, creating an illusion of haunting Sharon in subtle and psychological ways. From strange, inexplicable messages to unsettling reminders of their shared past, Phyllis's plot will push Sharon to her breaking point, forcing her to confront her own guilt and paranoia. Her goal is poetic justice, playing with Sharon's mind in a way that keeps her constantly on edge. The world may believe Phyllis is gone, but in truth, she's orchestrating her own retribution from the shadows. Sharon's guilt and self-doubt. Meanwhile, Sharon finds herself caught in a psychological whirlwind. Although she knows she wasn't responsible for Phyllis's accident, the weight of the accusations and her complicated history with Phyllis make her question herself. As the town whispers about her involvement, Sharon begins to feel as though her hands are stained with guilt. The accusations weigh heavily on her, especially as she recalls the tension and animosity that once defined her relationship with Phyllis. Eerie, anonymous messages begin appearing, seemingly from beyond the grave. Sharon's mental state deteriorates as she starts to feel haunted, constantly looking over her shoulder. Phyllis's carefully crafted scheme works, pushing Sharon's guilt and paranoia into a downward spiral. The day of the funeral. The date of Phyllis's funeral arrives, and Genoa City gathers to bid farewell to one of its most dynamic and divisive figures. The atmosphere is somber, the crowd filled with familiar faces reflecting on their memories of Phyllis. Some mourn her passing with genuine grief, while others feel bittersweet relief, knowing a fierce competitor has exited the stage. Daniel stands at the center, torn between grief and anger as he prepares to say goodbye to his mother. His heart is heavy with sorrow, but simmering rage beneath his exterior is directed squarely at Sharon. Convinced that her actions led to his mother's death, his mind is filled with thoughts of vengeance. Phyllis's haunting begins. As the mourners begin to disperse, subtle signs of Phyllis's presence start to emerge. At first, they are small, almost imperceptible hints. An oddly placed flower, an unexpected note, a mysterious text. To Sharon, each instance feels like a message, a warning that she can't escape the consequences of her actions. Phyllis carefully orchestrates the hauntings, growing bolder with time and creating an atmosphere of suspense and dread. As Sharon's paranoia intensifies, she becomes convinced Phyllis's spirit is lingering, bent on revenge. The pressure fractures Sharon's composure, and soon, her entire world is consumed by fear and doubt. Will Phyllis's scheme go unchallenged? Even as Phyllis revels in her plan's success, she knows her secret can only be kept for so long. Faking one's death is a risky endeavor, and every calculated move carries the danger of exposure. Meanwhile, Daniel's quest for justice intensifies. Determined to uncover the truth behind his mother's death, he delves deeper into the circumstances surrounding the accident and Sharon's alleged involvement. A tense future in Genoa City. The stakes have never been higher. Phyllis's elaborate plot to punish Sharon is a ticking time bomb, threatening to explode in dramatic fashion if her secret is revealed. Sharon's mental state continues to deteriorate, inching her closer to a breakdown that could have devastating consequences for her life and relationships. As Daniel unknowingly inches toward the truth, Phyllis's scheme, and the lives of everyone involved, teeter on the edge of collapse. Genoa City braces for the moment when the truth will finally come to light. The young and the restless spoilers, a deadly game of deception. The power struggle between Jordan and Ian. The relationship between Jordan and Ian Ward has always been fraught with tension, manipulation, and an underlying threat of violence. These two dangerous personalities have found themselves locked in a battle of wills, with each determined to outmaneuver the other. While Ian views Jordan as a subordinate, a pawn to be controlled and exploited, Jordan is far from the meek and subservient individual he imagines. Beneath her seemingly compliant exterior lies a woman harboring a plan for rebellion, one as deadly as it is desperate. Jordan's shadowy past. Jordan's reputation precedes her. A woman with a history stained by violence, she's left a trail of bodies in her wake, each victim a testament to her ruthlessness and cunning. Her danger lies not in brute strength, but in her ability to manipulate, deceive, and strike when least expected. Yet, despite her notoriety, Ian dismisses her as weak, someone incapable of defying his authority. This underestimation is Ian's first mistake. While Jordan's methods may lack the raw force he wields, her intelligence and patience make her a formidable opponent. For years, she has lived under Ian's shadow, forced to endure his insults and abuse. Now, however, she is ready to break free, and she knows that freedom will only come with Ian's death. Ian Ward, the overconfident mastermind. Ian Ward, in contrast, is a man who thrives on control. He rules with fear, manipulating those around him with psychological and physical intimidation. His confidence in his ability to dominate others borders on arrogance, and this hubris blinds him to the threats that quietly simmer beneath the surface. To Ian, Jordan is nothing more than a tool, a puppet whose strings he can pull at will. His underestimation of her strength and resolve is both a testament to his overconfidence and a potential crack in his seemingly unshakable armor. Ian's greatest strength, his meticulous nature and sharp mind, has always kept him one step ahead of his enemies, but his belief in his own invulnerability may prove to be his downfall. The turning point, abuse and defiance. The tension between Jordan and Ian reaches a boiling point when Ian physically assaults her, his hands tightening around her throat. Seeking to remind Jordan of her place, Ian's act of violence becomes the spark that ignites Jordan's simmering fury. While she outwardly submits, appearing to capitulate to his dominance, her mind is already formulating a plan. Jordan knows that a direct confrontation with Ian is a losing battle. He is stronger, more experienced, and always on guard. To defeat him, she must play a long game, one that relies on cunning, deception, and the element of surprise. Jordan's plan for freedom. Jordan's strategy is as intricate as it is dangerous. She decides to feign loyalty, masking her hatred and resentment behind a facade of obedience. By playing the role Ian expects of her, she hopes to lull him into a false sense of security, lowering his defenses just enough for her to strike. Her plan hinges on exploiting Ian's weaknesses, his arrogance, his need for control, and his tendency to underestimate her. Jordan begins by carefully studying his routines, identifying vulnerabilities, and planting seeds of doubt within his inner circle. Every move she makes is calculated, designed to position herself as both indispensable to Ian and utterly non-threatening. The battle of wits. As the weeks pass, the power dynamic between Jordan and Ian begins to shift. While Ian remains outwardly dominant, the cracks in his control start to show. Jordan's feigned submission allows her to maneuver closer to her goal, all while sowing the seeds of his eventual downfall. She carefully lays traps, planting evidence that casts suspicion on Ian's allies and disrupts his operations. But Ian is no fool. His sharp instincts keep him alert to the possibility of betrayal, and he watches Jordan closely, searching for any sign of defiance. The tension between them becomes a deadly game of cat and mouse, with each trying to outthink the other. The ultimate confrontation. The climax of their battle comes when Jordan finally puts her plan into action. She lures Ian into a trap, using his own confidence against him. The setting is carefully chosen, a location where Ian's usual advantages are neutralized, and Jordan can exploit her knowledge of his habits and vulnerabilities. Yet, as the moment of reckoning approaches, the outcome remains uncertain. Ian's cunning and resourcefulness have saved him from countless threats in the past. For Jordan to succeed, she must not only outsmart him, but also overcome her own fear and doubt. The stakes of freedom. For Jordan, this confrontation is about more than revenge, it is about survival. Ian's control over her has stifled her freedom and stripped her of her autonomy. Killing him is not just an act of rebellion, it is a declaration of her right to live on her own terms. But the risks are immense. If she fails, she knows Ian will not spare her. His retribution will be swift and merciless, ensuring she never has another chance to defy him. Will Jordan succeed? The question of whether Jordan's plan will succeed remains unanswered, shrouded in uncertainty and suspense. Ian's reputation as an unassailable mastermind casts doubt on her ability to outmaneuver him. But Jordan's determination and intelligence give her a fighting chance. Her ability to play the long game, to endure abuse and manipulation while quietly plotting her escape, speaks to her resilience and strategic mind. Ultimately, the outcome of this deadly game will depend on who can outthink and outlast the other. A battle of survival. As the residents of Genoa City look on, unaware of the deadly struggle unfolding in their midst, the fate of Jordan and Ian hangs in the balance. Their battle is a stark reminder of the lengths people will go to in the pursuit of freedom, power, and control. In this high-stakes game of deception, only one can emerge victorious, and the consequences of their actions will reverberate far beyond their own lives. The stage is set for a dramatic showdown, one that promises to keep fans on the edge of their seats. In the end, the question remains, will Jordan's desperate gamble finally set her free, or will Ian's unyielding grip tighten around her, ensuring his dominance for years to come? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the outcome of this battle will change everything. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis Summers isn't doing very well now that she has made it to the hospital. Phyllis was in a car accident and has to be pulled out of the vehicle. Phyllis has not awake since she arrived at the hospital. Will Phyllis survive this accident? The young and the restless spoilers, Phyllis Summers was ran off the road. The young and the restless spoilers indicate that someone ran Phyllis off the road and made Sharon Newman believe she was responsible for the accident. Phyllis has also accused Sharon of murdering Heather Stevens as well. Sharon did frame Daniel Romalotti for this. Unfortunately, Sharon has no idea that she didn't kill Heather because of her blackouts. Fans know that Sharon is being framed as well. Who is going to end up getting to the bottom of this mess? Will Sharon and Daniel's innocence be proven and the real criminal be caught? Why is Sharon being targeted by these killers? I and R spoilers. Could Phyllis Summers slip into a coma? Since Phyllis has not regained consciousness, the CAT scan on her brain could show that she has slipped into a coma. If this is the case, Summer Newman could be forced to have Mother put on life support. Spoilers suggest that Summer will have to make a difficult decision. Could this be the choice Summer has to make? Summer may be the person Phyllis has appointed to make these decisions in case something like this was to happen. No one wants to see their parent in this state, but Phyllis' brain and body need time to heal. Daniel certainly doesn't need to have this put on him, as well as everything else. Will Summer have to make a life and death choice about Phyllis? The young and the restless spoilers, Summer Newman blames Chance Chancellor. If Sharon finally confesses to Chance Chancellor what she believes she has done, Summer may blame him. Phyllis has been trying to tell everyone who would listen that Sharon is the one behind Heather's murder, and now she believes she ran Summer off the road. Sorry only gets you so far when Sharon being arrested could have stopped this. Phyllis called Chance when Sharon broke into her room, and he still refused to arrest her. The only reason Sharon had to be there was looking for evidence, which she admitted to. Still Chance's choice to believe that Sharon wouldn't hurt anyone. Can Summer and Chance's relationship survive? Will Phyllis live after all she has been through? The young and the restless spoilers hint that Victoria Newman has been concerned about her father's purchase of Chancellor and how this would affect Billy Abbott. As the father to her children, she doesn't want him to have a meltdown, and she voiced her opinion on this multiple times. During the Dabby wedding reception, the proverbial poop hit the fan when news broke Jill Abbott decided to take matters into her own hands by agreeing to sell her company to Victor Newman, and Billy stormed out of the event. Will Victoria do something to help ease the pain of this major career loss? The young and the restless spoilers, Victoria Newman steps in with something big. I and our spoilers suggest that Victoria could step in and decide to help her ex by funding a new business venture. Billy could hit rock bottom by losing Abbott Chancellor, so Vicky may try to smooth over the shock by offering to invest in a new company where Billy has complete control of things. Billy will likely decline her offer at first, but eventually could see the light and agree to have Vicky become the silent investor in a new venture. What could happen next? Why and our spoilers. Billy reunion underway? Right now, Vicky is enjoying a romantic reunion with Cole Howard, while Billy is dabbling in something new with Sally Spectra. Still, if Vicky and Billy start working closely together on a new work project, could they recatch some feelings? This would be great news for Johnny Abbott and Katie Abbott, but not so good news for Cole or Sally. Mix in the fact that Jordan has returned, and she could spill about Cole and his role in keeping Victor's secret about holding her in the ranch dungeon. If this news came out, the Vole romance could be blown to pieces. Sally and Billy haven't exactly established a concrete relationship, and fans know that Billy and Vic will always share a unique connection thanks to their past love story and their children. Would a new business venture between Billy and Vicky catapult a reunion? The young and the restless spoilers indicate Phyllis Summers has landed in another medical crisis. Her car crashed as she was on her way to Sharon Newman's cottage, and fans know that Jordan and Ian Ward are behind this all. Nick Newman and Chance Chancellor fought hard to save Phyllis's life during the Thursday, November 14 episode of As the Woman Was Trapped in Her Car. Thankfully, they were successful, but it looks as if Phyllis has a long and hard road ahead for recovery. The young and the restless spoilers. Phyllis Summers' history with comas. Why and our spoilers for the week of November 18 to 22 note that Daniel Romalotti and Summer Newman will be beside themselves with worry. The preview video for next week shows an unconscious Phyllis in the hospital as Daniel asks if there's any treatment that can help their mom. It looks like Elena Dawson will be leading Phyllis' medical team, and she tells Daniel that besides keeping Phyllis stabilized and monitoring her, there's not much more that can be done. With Phyllis' coma history, it may be harder for her to wake up. I and our spoilers. Phyllis Summers' Coma Nightmare 2.0. Why and our spoilers remind fans that Phyllis landed in a coma in 2013 after an argument with Sharon. Could history repeat itself? Perhaps Phyllis won't be asleep for a year like the last time, but being in a coma for months could slow down this storyline. Now that fans know Jordan and Ian are potentially the ones who murdered Heather Stevens and behind Phyllis' crash, this means some hard times ahead for Sharon. She just confessed to Heather's demise and Phyllis' accident to Nick and could face some scary repercussions. Without Phyllis around to tell everyone that she was getting texts from Sharon while on the road, there's no way that the truth can come out about Sharon not having her phone before or during the incident. This also means there's no way anyone can suspect foul play. Plus, it gives more time for Jordan and Ian to create massive chaos in the little town. Could Phyllis land in another long-term coma? Join the conversation below. The young and the restless spoilers. Shock as Abby's pregnancy becomes a miracle wrapped in tragedy. The news of Abby's pregnancy should have been a moment of unbridled joy for her loved ones and supporters. For the fans who have followed her journey, the announcement was a glimmer of hope, a testament to her resilience and unshakable dreams. Yet the reaction of those closest to her was far from jubilant. Instead, it was a storm of worry and heartbreak, overshadowed by Abby's fragile health and the haunting shadow of her past. A fragile health history. Abby's life has been marked by a delicate constitution and chronic health struggles. Behind her radiant smile lies a body that carries the burden of numerous illnesses. These conditions, though often hidden from the public eye, have made even the simplest aspects of life a challenge for her. Yet, Abby has always faced these obstacles with remarkable grace, never letting them define her. But her world changed irrevocably after a traumatic incident that left her grappling with more than just physical pain. The fall that changed everything. Abby's ability to become a mother was stolen from her in a devastating accident orchestrated by Max, a troubled young boy with a vendetta. Pushed down a staircase, Abby suffered a miscarriage that broke her heart and shattered her body. The incident left her unable to conceive naturally, a cruel twist of fate for a woman whose deepest desire was to experience the joys of motherhood. Doctors had grim news for Abby. Her body could no longer sustain a pregnancy. Worse yet, any future attempts to carry a child could put her life at grave risk. For years, Abby mourned the loss of not just her unborn child, but the dream of ever becoming a mother. A dangerous decision. Despite these challenges, Abby never stopped dreaming of holding a baby in her arms. When she learned she was pregnant, it felt like a miracle, a chance to defy the odds and prove that hope could conquer even the darkest despair. But that miracle came with a terrifying cost. Abby's doctors were unequivocal in their warning. Carrying this child to term would likely kill her. The risks were staggering, an 80% chance of death. Her body, already frail, would struggle to handle the physical demands of pregnancy and childbirth. Only a miracle, they said, could save her. A mother's heart. For Abby, the decision was clear. This was her child, her miracle, and she was willing to risk everything to bring this new life into the world. No argument, no plea, no dire warning could sway her. She had already made her choice, her life for her babies. Abby's resolve came not from recklessness, but from a place of pure, unselfish love. She had spent so much of her life longing for this moment, and she would not let it slip away. To ask her to terminate the pregnancy was to ask her to extinguish the light of her own hope, a price she simply could not pay. The weight of love. Devin and Ashley found themselves in an agonizing position. They loved Abby deeply and wanted nothing more than to support her. But how could they stand by as she knowingly walked toward what could be her death? Devin, ever the voice of reason, struggled to find a way to honor Abby's choice while ensuring she understood the gravity of her decision. Ashley, torn between her role as a mother and her duty to protect her daughter, wrestled with feelings of helplessness and despair. Their fears were not unfounded. Every passing day brought Abby closer to the moment of truth, a moment that could bring unspeakable joy or unimaginable sorrow. Hope in the face of despair. As Abby's pregnancy progressed, the tension between hope and fear grew more palpable. Those around her clung to the faint possibility of a miracle, desperate for any sign that she could defy the odds. They researched cutting-edge medical treatments, sought out the best doctors, and prayed for divine intervention. Yet even the best-case scenarios were fraught with uncertainty. Abby, meanwhile, embraced each day with a quiet strength that inspired everyone around her. She refused to let fear dictate her actions, choosing instead to focus on the life growing inside her. To Abby, this baby was not just a child, it was a symbol of her indomitable spirit, a testament to her belief that love could conquer all. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman confessed to killing Heather Stevens to Nick Newman. When Nick called Chance Chancellor, he didn't say Sharon is Heather's killer. Nick simply asked Chance to come over. With both men having a history with Sharon, could Nick and Chance form a controversial pact? Keep reading and let's talk about what could happen with this storyline. The young and the restless spoilers. Phyllis Summers' fiery car crash. My and our spoilers reveal that the tension between Phyllis Summers and Sharon was getting pretty intense. Sharon couldn't find her phone and Faith Newman tried helping her look for it. At the same time that was happening, someone was sending Phyllis text messages from Sharon's number. As Sharon kept sending numerous texts in a row, Phyllis ended up crashing. Sharon was on the road too, but it's unclear if she intentionally caused the crash or not. My and our spoilers, Sharon Newman's confession. After fleeing the scene of the crime, Sharon went home and screamed into a pillow. Then, Sharon talked to Nick on the phone. Nick asked how Sharon knew about Phyllis' accident. When Nick got to Sharon's place, she gave a horrifying confession. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nick Newman's denial. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Nick still seemed to be in denial even after Sharon confessed. Nick still doesn't think Sharon is guilty, and there must be another explanation. As Nick grappled with the horror, Sharon left him to tell Faith about her crimes. Sharon told Nick that they needed to call Chance and tell him the truth. My and our spoilers, Chance Chancellor's Pact. Chance has known Sharon for a long time. For a brief time, they had a romance, but that didn't really take off. Other than that, they do have a friendship. So it would be easy to see Nick telling Chance that Sharon would never intentionally harm anyone. Since Phyllis is still alive, Chance might agree to keep Sharon's confession quiet, but only until he does some digging. It is teased that by the end of next week, Chance finds damaging evidence against Sharon. However, with Jordan and Ian Ward back on the scene, there are a lot more twists and turns ahead. Ian and Jordan will continue to target Sharon during the week of November 18, 2024. So Sharon might need to pull out hallucination Cameron Kirsten to beat Jordan and Ian at their own game, so stay tuned. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman finally spilled the beans about her role in Heather Stevens' passing. The entire event was an emotional roller coaster ride, as Sharon came clean to Nick Newman about how she the night of Heather's demise went down. Sharon revealed she not only was behind Heather's passing, but she also cleaned up the crime scene and actively worked to frame Daniel Romalotti. Nick sat there in horror as Sharon told him she also believed that she was the one to run Phyllis Summers off the road, causing her life-threatening injuries. Of course, Nick found this all hard to digest and is still struggling with the news. So much so, he's hired Michael Baldwin to represent Sharon to help her get off on the charges. Nick feels down deep in his heart that Sharon wasn't behind Heather's demise, and he's not the only one. Both Faith Newman and Maria Copeland are finding it difficult to comprehend that their mother would do any of this. While I and our fans now know that Heather passed away because of a terrible plan devised by Ian Ward and Jordan to target Sharon, viewers also get a sense that this storyline is far from over. Ian and Jordan will likely wreak a ton of havoc in Genoa City before they get exposed. Plus, Sharon's adamant to pay for her crimes, so she's not exactly helping Michael with his defense strategy. Fans witnessed her trying to keep her blackouts and hallucinations from her attorney during the Tuesday, November 19 episode. This likely means that Sharon will either go to jail or a treatment facility for a little while before the truth comes out. This also means a ton of drama will hit the fan, especially once Phyllis wakes up from her coma. Phyllis will feel vindicated that she was right. However, her gloating will definitely rub Nick the wrong way. Phyllis will also create a storm of fury to make sure Sharon pays for her actions, in one way or the other. I and our viewers can sense there's still a ton of love between Nick and Sharon. After all, Sharon has recently had dreams of being with Nick, and when he asked her out on a date some weeks ago, she went overboard to impress him. Most men would have run to the hills if their ex confessed to a murder. However, Nick is standing by Sharon's side looking to support and help her any way he can. Sharon is out on bail after being arrested and will likely not be detained when her sentencing is determined. Could this offer an opportunity for Schick to turn up the heat, while also mourning the loss of Sharon's freedom? It's not hard to imagine that Sharon could have one last night with family before she's locked away for good. Faith, Mariah, Tessa Porter, and little area Porter Copeland will be there so Sharon can soak up every moment with loved ones before the final hammer drops. But after Tessa, Mariah, and Area leave, and Faith goes to a friend's house, this could leave Sharon and Nick alone. Schick could talk about their past romance, mistakes made, and the wish for more time to make amends. This is when Sharon and Nick may admit they still love each other and allow their emotions to take over. The young and the restless spoilers hint that it'll be a bittersweet moment for #Team Schick fans to witness the two steamy love session. Still, as everyone knows Sharon wasn't behind Heather's fatal end, this could also add some hope for a bona fide Schick reunion once Sharon is released.